Madhurima Dotto, a zoology and biology educational content creator. Now's content for class 11, CBSE, ICSE, all boards, and also NEET aspirant students. Unit 2, Structure, Organization in Plants and Animals. Chapter 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants. And now I will discuss about the modification of seeds. All video of class 11 and NEET, please subscribe my YouTube channel Biogenesis by Madhurima and follow my Facebook account Madhurima Dotto. Introduction. In angiosperms, while the basic structure of a seed includes a seed coat, that is embryo, which is radicle and plumule, and cotyledons, seeds often undergo specific modifications to adapt for protection, nutrition, dispersal, or germination. Next, modification for nutrition. It is endospermic versus non-endospermic. The primary modification in seed structure relates to how and where food is stored for the developing embryo. First is endospermic or albuminia seed. The endosperm persists in the mature seeds and serves the primary food storage tissue. Example, most monocots, that is wheat, maize, barley, castor, sunflower, etc. Castor is a dicot but has endospermic seeds. Next, non-endospermic or exabuluminia seeds. The endosperm is completely consumed by the developing embryo before the seed matures. Food is instead stored in cotyledons, which become thick and fleshy. Example, most dicots, that is gram, peas, beans, etc. Orchids are monocots but have non-endospermic microscopic seeds. Next, modification of the seed coat and appendages. The integuments of the ovule mature into the seed coat, that is testa and tegument, and various modification develops from or on these layers. First is the caruncles or strophiolae, a fleshy whitish outgrowth found near the micropyle. Origin, proliferation of cells at the integumentary region, specifically the outer integument or micropyle. Next, function, it is rich in lipids. It absorbs water to aid germination and attracts ants for seed dispersal, that is myrmecory. Example, Ricinus communis, that is castor. Next, aril or third integument, a fleshy, often brightly colored wrap that partially or completely covers the seed. Origin, developed from the funicles or the base of the ovule. Function, attracts birds and animals for dispersal. In some cases, it forms the edible part. Example, lychee. The juicy edible part is fleshy, aril, and asphorilus. Next type is comma, which is tuft of hairs, a collection of long, silky hairs attached to the one or both ends of the seed coat. Function, acts as a percute mechanism to aid in vine dispersal, that is anemochory. Examples, calotropis, that is madder, cotton, that is gossypium, whereas the seed coat produces surface fibers. Next, spatial structure modification. First is the aleuron layer in maize or cereals. In monocotyledonous seed like maize, the seed coat is fused with the fruit wall, that is called caryopsis. The outer layer of the endosperm modifies into a specialized protein-rich layer called aleuron layer. The ploidy of the aleuron layer is 3N, that is triploid, because it is part of the endosperm. Next, scutellum and coleoptile or coleorhiza. In grass or cereal seeds, the single cotyledons is highly modified into a shield-shaped structure called the scutellum. Adapted for absorbing nutrients from the endosperm, and the embryonic axis is protected by the two modified sheaths. Next, coleoptile, protective sheath covering the plumule, which is called shoot tip, and coleorhiza, protective sheath covering the radicle, which is called root tip and root cap. Next, perisperm or persistent nucleus. While not a direct modification of the embryo, itself the survival of the nucellus in critical structural variation of it tested in it. Next, definition. In some seeds, that nucellus is not completely consumed and remains as a thin paper persistent like surrounding the endosperm. Next, example of the perisperm, black pepper and beetroot. Next, modification, structure, type or origin, key function and typical example. Canonical, fleshy outgrowth at micropyle, key function water absorption and ant dispersal, typical example castor. Next modification is aride, structure, fleshy third integument, edible part animal or animal dispersal and lychee. Next modification is comma, which is hair on seed coat. Key function is vine dispersal and typical example is Calotropis cotton. Next modification is perisperm. Structural type or origin is persistent nucellus. Key function is nutrient reservoir and typical example is black pepper or beet. Next modification is scutellum. Structure type and origin is modified shield-like cotyledon. Function is nutrient absorption and typical example is maize, wheat or grasses. Now the topic has ended.